Hello, linguists. How are you? Welcome back to another episode of the Linguists Radio. Happy Conference Interpreters Day. Today is a very special day for many of our colleagues. And I had a post on Instagram, on my Instagram stories about this. Many of us aspire to become conference interpreters. It's like the dream, the golden, the holy grail for many of us to become an interpreter in the UN. I know many of our followers are already there, so our appreciation, our respect, and our best wishes for you to have the best day ever in these really strange circumstances. Today, I decided to invite this group of translators. They are my co-nationals, Peruvian translators, due to some events, political events that happened last week in Peru, in South America, the country where I'm from. There has been an overturn of the government. Hi, Changu. Tell us, everyone, where are you watching us from? But I'm going to give you a very brief summary of what has happened and why I have decided to invite this group of translators. So this past week, as I was saying, there has been a political crisis in Peru. And we have social media now. So nobody was expecting, I guess, that this would completely change the scene in our political life in Peru. And if I'm following the news correctly, it's also happening in other countries in South America. But today we're going to focus in Peru. Some protests after some political events started happening on Wednesday. And then they escalated a little bit on Thursday, and they little by little started escalating until Saturday, where was the biggest, most serious part of this protest took place. And this is why I decided to invite Peru Translated, which is a group of translators, students and already translators who decided to take on social media and start spreading the news about what was happening. So today with us, we have Noelia. Welcome, Noelia.
Hi. My name is Noelia. I'm a student. I've been a student translation for already 3 years, and I am the one who started this project. I am the one that is in charge of organizing, and I am the community manager, one of the community managers on the Instagram page.
Perfect. Thank you, Noelia. Then we have Evie Lopez. Welcome, Evie, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, you can say Evie or Ivy. Actually, I'm already used to that.
Okay.
I'm the one that made this bigger because Noelia started with the idea, and with me, it started to be like the little snowball that became really big. But happy to be here. I'm part of the recruiting team. I'm the one that have contact with the people and say, okay, you want to be part of this? Welcome. I can assign you to the language you want to help us with.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Then we have Angel. Welcome, Angel. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Angel, or Angel, as you wish. I don't have any problem. I joined the project when there were just a few. There were just a few of us. I believe there were 8 in the first document, 8 or 9 translators in the first document. I'm a third-year translation student at UBC, as well as Noelia, Asbia, Salvador. And I'm the manager of the English division of this project.
Okay, and then we have Salvador. Welcome, Salvador.
Hello. Hi, my name is Salvador Rabanal. I am the head of Portuguese team. On Friday, because all these violations of human rights started approximately last week on Wednesday, Thursday. They sent me a message asking if I was interested in being part of this project for being the head manager of the Portuguese team, and I didn't think it twice. I just said yes because we all want to communicate all these situations, and this is something great.
Awesome, great, and we will talk a lot about it. And then we have Bia. Welcome, Bia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again for the invitation. Well, my name is Bia. I'm studying translation. I'm in the third year as the others. Well, I'm the head of the French group. I'm very excited and emotional because we as translator have the role of sharing what is really going on in Peru. It's important to know that the media hasn't been told the truth at all. So it is a very important role right now.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. We might have one more guest, but he will come as we are having the show. But so far, we have with us what many consider part of the change that is happening now in Peru. So yes, on Wednesday, as I was explaining, and Salvador also mentioned, as I was saying, political events took place, but then some violation of human rights started happening. There he is, Piero. Welcome. How are you doing? Would you please introduce yourself?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay, great. So hi everybody, my name is Piero Ruiz. I'm the language coordinator for the language Italia. And well, I'm very happy to be here with you all to share our experience.
Thank you so much, Piero. And so you guys, Noelia was the first one that came with this idea of starting this, I guess, group and kind of crusade for starting to share the information that wasn't being shared by the media in Peru. Hence, nobody else internationally would be aware of what was really happening in Peru. And you guys started translating all the things that were being already shared in social media inside Peru, correct? And then we have all these different languages. So I guess the first thing that I'm going to ask is, Noelia, what took you to do this, to make this decision? I cannot just stay quiet. I am a translator and I need to do something.
Okay, so I may tell the long story because I like it. So one day I came back from a protest. It was on Thursday, and the protest I went to was very peaceful. Actually, it was very, very peaceful. But when I got home, it was around 11 p.m. I'm always on Twitter, on social media. I'm a total social media trash. So I was there, and I was like, I was seeing what people were tweeting. There were a lot of hashtags, there were a lot of retweets from my mutuals, and I saw what was happening. There was a lot of police brutality, and I got really, really mad at it because I'm someone who is very interested in human rights. So I was very mad. I mean, I was mad because of what was going on. I mean, it was all of this. It was anti-democratic. There was this prime minister who was very homophobic, misogynist, and I was already mad. But then I saw that, and I was even madder. So I thought maybe if someone who has a bigger platform than me and has international
influence,
like a lot of people follow them internationally, they're gonna this is gonna
explode.
So I thought, okay, I'm gonna tag certain famous people, especially those people that are normally related to human rights field, like feminists and all kind of famous people. So I wanted to do that, but there were only tweets in Spanish. So I found this video in which there was this transcription already, in which there were two police officers, two cops who were shooting the protesters, and I translated it, and I was like, okay, guys, tag Village Meal, tag the UN, tag UNICEF, so we can hopefully make this appear under notifications. I failed because my platform is not that big and my friends were not that much, but I tried. And the next day I woke up and I saw what was still happening, and I saw a post from my professor who taught me Realidad Social Peruana, Peruvian social reality,
Mm-hmm.
and she was describing all of these events, and my friend shared it. So I told her, "Hey, are you in translating this? So we can share it and we can hopefully make it go viral, and hopefully an organization helps us and calls out the Peruvian government because this is not acceptable." And she was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we created a WhatsApp group. She invited some of our friends. She's Nazareth. I wanna say her name. She's Nazareth. She's also one of the girls that started this. And she invited our friend Valeria. We invited our friend Simena, who's still with us now in the community manager group. She invited some of her friends, but we had never done inverse translation. So we were like, we had a lot of problems, and we post on a page we have for the students of translation on Instagram, and I was asking for someone who had more experience, and they replied me, but there were also more people replying. And during that time, a friend of mine told me, "Hey, why don't we call someone from another language to make this possible?" And that's when I contacted Salvador. And he told me yes. And then he contacted Evie. And then this
The chain of favors, as Iggy mentioned it yesterday. Salvador, before I go on any farther, I just remember, I'm sorry, I forgot, but you wanted to thank everyone who was involved in all this move. So go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Well, I want to say thank you to all of you, all the members of Peru Translated, all the people who share our posts, even you, the linguists, for this opportunity. And thank you because we cannot just sit down and do nothing. So what I want to say thank you.
Thank you for that. And you know what? I just wanted to say two things. First of all, I really want to focus this episode on the social role that interpreters and translators have. And coincidentally, today is Conference Interpreters Day. And as many of us know, conference interpreting started with the Nuremberg Trial, where many Nazis were tried for their crimes, for their war crimes. Did you know that in 1934, and I learned this from Mr. Eduardo Magalhães, in 1934, was recorded the first simultaneous translation, or I'm sorry, interpretation was recorded when a French interpreter interpreted for Adolf Hitler, taking his message out of Germany to the French people and anyone who spoke French back in that time. And that changed the world as we know it. 5 years later, World War II breaks. We all know what happened. We all know what were the events, what were the consequences. And then in 1945, yes, it's when the Nuremberg Trial starts, and interpreters are a key part of these events. So this helps us to see how important is our profession. It's not only, and Ivy and Noelia yesterday were having a conversation, and I guess it's worldwide known that us interpreters and translators are only known when we make mistakes. And that has to change, because these kids here, and I say kids because I'm like 10-year older than all of them, they are going to change the history in their country. And the same thing can happen with any translator or interpreter in their own country if they get involved in their own society, in their own history. So that's what happened with Noelia, has explained us why she was moved. She saw that human rights were being violated. And another thing that I wanted also to say, I'm going to make a little pause here. I'm doing this in English, and we will switch into Spanish probably halfway, just so everyone else is comfortable expressing what they feel, because this is important, I consider. But English is sort of a lingua franca that many of our followers and our users understand. And it is important for us to let everyone know what is happening in a certain place, so people don't die. Simple as that. I mean, we as human beings know our rights, and we have to defend those rights. And it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, if you're a translator, if you're a nurse, if you are a teacher, you have certain principles. And at some point, you either decide to be involved or not. And they decided to get involved and change history, because they are. So I am going to ask Ivy now about how this started snowballing and became this avalanche. And now you guys are like everywhere in social media. So tell us about that. How was that?
Well, actually, Salvador contacted me. He was like, "Look, this post. Can you translate it with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I was working at that time, and I said, "Okay, I think I can translate and be at my work at the very same time." Well, that was a mistake. uh, at that time, I just left my work and focused on translating because, as Noelia also mentioned, I was really upset also with all the situation. I couldn't go out with the protesters because of some family matters, but I wanted also to do something. And that's when I told Salvador, maybe we can translate something else. Or if you need more people for more languages, I can maybe post it on Twitter or Facebook. And that's when I tweeted, hey, we're in need of some volunteer translators from many languages, and we want to, well, translate some news, some things that are happening that our media is not showing right now. At that time, first I got like 14 replies. So I was, okay, 14, we can handle this. And then we suddenly got like 50 more. And I was, what am I going to do with this? So I thought, again, a mistake. Maybe if I put my email or my WhatsApp number, they can contact me directly and I can answer faster. Again, it was a mistake. I started having messages from WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. What other? Oh yeah, my email also. And then that's when I started to tell Noelia, sorry, everything, it's big now, because Noelia also told me I wanted this to be like a small thing, but really shared with the world. I tried to calm her down, to tell her, okay, we can handle this. And that's when Angie Tapia and Adriana Carvajal, they're teachers at UPC. They were my teachers. Angie saw my post. Angie saw my phone number. She called me, and that's when they started helping us because they are really great organizing everything. Angie and Adriana were in Lima 2019, the Pan American Games, so they have all the experience and they share it with us. Also, Julio Montenegro, the three of them helped a lot a
Yes.
lot to organize everything.
Our teachers were our saviors,
Yeah,
literally.
That's
they were
great.
our saviors. And thanks to that, we started working more organizedly, and we created batch. That's how we call them, batch from translations. So that way we could have the same project in many languages, because I had replies from Germany, from Dutch, I had replies from Italy, from Spain, United States, Argentina, from many people around the globe. So we needed to rearrange everything, and they helped us with that.
That's very cool. So uh, that's something that you mentioned, Noelia, and now Piero and Ivy have mentioned it as well, that you had the help of your teachers. You are students, many of you. Ivy, I think you're already graduated, but how important, I'm going to ask you, Bio, how important do you think, I mean, did you see the difference between a translation student and just a bilingual person? Did you see the difference in what you guys had to offer in your work?
Actually, yes. When we translate, for example, in the French group, we need people who can check the translations, bilingual and a
Uh-huh.
monolingual person. It is it is completely different when we talk about a translator, because they need techniques, because we learn how to translate, that we learn that one expression doesn't mean the same in the other language. So yes, it's very different person who is bilingual that
So it was
a
sort of
person that is a
critical to
translator.
have your teachers help you with their experience translating all these things that were happening, because they were charged with emotion. It wasn't only the facts that were happening, it was
Yeah.
all this phrases that police were telling to ambulances and to victims and people who were appalled by what was happening, and they just wanted to do something, and you had to transmit all that anger that was happening. Salvador, how was it in Portuguese? Was it a little easier, since Portuguese is Roman language as well?
Hello. Well, at the beginning, we as students, we could not have all the time, So this was difficult at the beginning. We as students, we were too much worried about the situation, national situation, and also our academic homeworks. So we need more people, and Evie helped us a lot. Evie contacted a lot of people, certified translators, professors, graduated students. It was too much people from Brazil, and here we got the idea. Here we translated ideas, not only words. It was, okay, this is an expression for projecting what he's saying. How do you say that in Portuguese for Brazilian speakers? And they told me, okay, you must say this. And that helped us a lot.
Yeah, it happens. It doesn't matter how similar or what the root of the language is. We're still going to have the same challenges as translators, and interpreters, to transmit the message, to transfer the message, not only the words. Piero, tell us about your role in all this.
So, as Noelia, I also went to the first parade that happened in, a week ago exactly now. And I could see, because it was my first time participating in this kind of experience, massive, a parade,
Yeah.
and I could feel the gases that police officers would throw at us, and it came to a point that it was not even possible to breathe in the center area of the city. And I mean, it was a whole experience, and I said to myself, okay, I'm never coming back I'm not going to be back and to expose myself to this because I have also to do other stuff like work and my thesis research. But then my friends came up with this idea, and as an Italian translator, I felt it like a social
Duty.
duty and a task that, you know, just because I'm doing it, I feel that we are contributing to
Yeah.
the change of our country, you know. And at the beginning, because we don't have Italian as our as our major languages, we didn't have that many translators at the beginning. So I had to review all the translations that have been made, and reading all the text and all the content that is going to be published. It was very shocking. Even it was as shocking as being in the protest, really. And it started to, to hit me mentally that I have to share the task with another project manager.
Mm.
Thanks to that, we could manage to, to achieve all our goals and to find a way to translate all new translator, because at some point I had the idea to share the WhatsApp group link, the invitation, in a couple of groups that I was in, and that was a big moment for the Italian team, because a lot of people that were not part of our, closest circle, um, joined and helped us a lot.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna go back to something that you mentioned, but I want to ask Angel. Um, you were also organizing all these languages and like designating, I guess, who would do what. Is that, am I understanding that correctly?
Uh, yeah, that's my task now. At first, I translated with this small team. We're 9, as I was saying, but being the first language team, and now the most numerous, we were like, well, we need to assign some roles, but we kind of know each other at first. So maybe we can do this, and later we can change segments. We can check each other's mistakes. But an hour later, 2 hours later, there were around 20 people in the same Google document, and it was mayhem. There were people correcting segments that they were already checked and approved, um, and then a student came and did those revisions uh,
Right.
that were made by a professional. But by that point, 2 hours in, we already had some professionals helping us, and it was total chaos. I don't know
It
how
turned
that
out
turned
beautifully at the
well.
end. I mean, if you guys follow, and I posted here the social media for you guys to follow all of them, or where the group, the Peru Translated group. I do have to say, by the way, that there are other groups as well, just as important as this, who also contributed to spreading the news around the world. I want to say hi to Alex Wong, Chivi Jenga, that's my sister, Paola Riaran, Daph Williams, Jimena Chumpitas, Daniela Basurco, Nazaret Lamilla. Um, Yes, all of them. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know from where you are watching, and share in the comments if you have seen all of these posts that Peru Translated and other groups as well have been posting about the events in Peru. Let us know. Let us know that. Yeah, go ahead, Ivy.
I have to say that Alex Won, Daniela Basurco, and Nazaret Lamilla are part
Mhm.
of our team. Alex has been helping Nazaret with Instagram, and Daniela Basurco with Diana Paredes. They've been handling the subtitles, and I really have to thank them because we were working from Friday to almost Monday without a break. So I
So
really
that's
have to
something
thank
that
them for
came up
that.
in our conversation yesterday. It was you were doing the subtitling simultaneously, basically, as things came through to you, as messages were coming through. You were just on the spot producing all the subtitles. How was that?
Well, it was difficult at first, and I remember talking with Angel at what at one point because it was like, okay, I think I'm sending too much information and too many people to you. We need
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to
I
divide
can
and
compare.
conquer. So if we're going to translate at the same time, we need to have, for example, this information can be posted tomorrow. So you can make a group that is in charge of this. And since on Twitter, well, we had everything on Twitter at that time, the videos, many many protesters that were also tagging us. Then we decided to have the urgent tweets that needed to be like posted right now to be translated like in this moment. And that's when they started helping us. We made an Excel doc on Google Drive with the link because we take really seriously the copyright. So we had the text of the link, well, the text of the tweet, the link, and then the translation in every language. So we started organizing ourselves. In red, it was already checked, so it could be posted, and on green, it was already posted.
Hmm.
So that way, we didn't mess up with all the posts because it was more than one people taking care of all the media.
Hmm.
And well, that's how we handle it. And Daniela Basurco with Diana Paredes, they started taking the videos, the shortest videos at first, to try to subtitle it because they already took the course of dubbing and subtitling. Uh, We have that course at our university, and they started helping also the other people. We really need to thank them guys because they were really really exhausted from all the videos we had to see, we had to watch. It was there were some strong images. We saw people dying on the videos, and they were really strong to manage all this.
Yeah, I saw well, I mean, I saw all the videos. I think the world has seen all the videos. Thanks to you guys for translating all of that and giving it, you know, the words that went with them. But yeah, the images were extremely harsh, very intense. There was a lot of work for you, I'm sure. But you, Piero, mentioned something, which is the emotional toll that takes. You're doing your job. You're trying to do obviously the best you can, right? But then there's this really heavy emotional load that comes with this kind of work. I personally, I'm an asylum interpreter. I have worked with a lot of cases that are heart wrenching. Like I have had one, thank God, opportunity where I was crying while I was interpreting, and you guys were like in there while it was happening. So I don't know if anyone wants to comment on that. How you, Piero, said that you had to find someone else, which I think was the best thing to do for you. You have to share this. You cannot keep it to yourself and say I
Yeah,
can do it by
yeah, of
myself. Yeah.
course. Yes, exactly. Well, as I was saying, we all, well, some of us are still students, some of us have already finished our translation school, but we all have, home duties to do. We all have homework. We all have, houseworks and stuff. And having to do all the job that Peru Translated was requiring really hit me because at some point I was thinking, yeah, I do feel the social duty to help, but I do have other stuff to do. Like there was a moment where we all were in our houses, and we will have to choose whether to do our normal stuff or translate to, or manage, review, translate, and do everything that was needed. And in my particular case, I'm in I'm an I'm a student, and I am in the last semester of the major. And today, actually, I this morning I presented my thesis research in an international research event. And having to think to my research, and then Peru Translated, and then all the other homework, it was really too much. And yeah, so if I've learned something out of this, is that if you need help, you need to first acknowledge that, in retrospect, and then understand that you have the permission to say, I can't do it myself. You have the permission to ask for help, because this is tough times for us. And yeah, it's gonna hit us. So
Right.
if we have people to count on to help and share the load of the work, then we have to, because we're all gonna help each other, and we are gonna learn from this experience.
And you had proofreaders as well, right, Noelia? You were telling me that eventually some proofreaders decided to tell you also voluntarily. This is all voluntary
All
work, and they
voluntary,
decided
yes.
to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna join you guys in this job." So, how was that?
Yes, to our Instagram, to our DMs, a lot of people appeared. They were sending us videos so we could translate it. I remember the night, Saturday night, which was the worst night last week, I would say. A lot of people, we were stuffed with a lot of work. On each team, people were translating and were proofreading and um, we're doing a lot. I remember I don't really translate that much because I am in charge of making sure everything is going well. So, but I remember that night I translated because we were very It was
Right.
how do I say it? It was necessary. We had to, right? We
Yeah.
had to appear. So we translated it. There were also a lot of messages from people who wanted to help, people from other areas of studies, people who study law, people who were not even translators. There were also international people, as I told you, proofreaders, which did not even speak Spanish. So first we had people who spoke both Spanish and this target language. Then we had a French woman who contacted us. She was like, "Hey, I want to help. I don't speak Spanish, but I can communicate in English, and I can help you with the proofreading in French." We also had people who spoke like different languages. We even had people sending us translations, so we just had to proofread them and pause them. So yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
sure.
amazing.
That's my next question, actually. I'm going to ask you, Angel. I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this, but I guess you're going to speak for all of your
Sure.
coworkers in this case. Are you aware that you guys have changed history, have had a fundamental role in the history of Peru?
Well, I hope we have done so. I think that was the goal. We wanted to speak what was we speak talk about, to show what was happening there. We know that and that Spanish is quite spoken around the world, but not as much as English. So, or well, in and the other languages in total. Um, so yeah, I think all of us wanted to show to show what was happening, so knowing that everyone had their minds into it, I think that was also our self-support from the management team, and also from our volunteers as well.
Yeah, yeah. So this is what happened, and then after this we're gonna switch to Spanish because I think that that's the note that we should close this in. But there were two kids that passed away. They were actually murdered by police brutality, and this is what these kids here, and I'm gonna call them kids because to me they are. Um, try to transmit. And I think they did an amazing job at subtitling, translating. And I'm sure that if the case, if given the case, they would have also done a great job interpreting all these emotions and all these messages that were happening. So congratulations, guys. You didn't only did something that you were trained to do, you went one step above and beyond your career, and you involve yourselves in a social move. And something that I am going to ask you guys, our followers, our audience, this is something that just kind of exploded. Everyone in Peru, 30 and up, are wondering what the heck happened. Social media basically changed the history in my country, in Peru, and it's happening everywhere around the world. Are we as interpreters and translators ready for this? There are a lot of movements happening which are changing the way we speak, the way we include people, taking human rights very seriously, and equality, gender equality, very seriously as well. So I just want to ask all of our audience to know what you guys think. Are we ready as interpreters and translators for this change that is coming? This is something that it's something new. It's brand new. All of this translators are here to not only do their work, but do what it takes to write history, because that's what we as translators and interpreters are meant to do. And also, they validate the lives that were lost in the protests, because it didn't only stay there. This keeps happening, and as it continues to happen, they keep translating things because they're looking for justice, and we do have a role in that, like it or not. I think that we all have a role in that. So I'm going to switch to Spanish now. And thank you to everyone who has watched us. But if you're a Spanish or an English interpreter, a Spanish interpreter or translator, please stick with us. Muchas gracias, chicos, nuevamente por haberse involucrado tanto en todo esto. Han habido momentos súper fuertes. Igual que ustedes, yo obviamente, porque no me encuentro en Perú, no pude participar, pero comencé a compartir todo lo que podía. Incluso le estaba contando a Noelia y a Ivy que el miércoles, cuando mi hermana empezó a compartir todas estas cosas, yo, de hecho, como casi cuarentona, le dije, ten cuidado, piénsalo bien. Y luego al día siguiente me empecé a informar, a educar de qué cosa estaba pasando. Y ahí ha sido cuando he comenzado a compartir todo, y luego los descubrí a ustedes, y qué buen trabajo que han hecho. Qué orgullo saber que están creándose y formándose de esta manera, porque le da muy buen prestigio a nuestra profesión, yo creo. Esa es mi opinión. ¿Tú qué piensas, Ivy?
Bueno, en realidad sí. En un principio era bastante difícil, ¿no? Como tú dices, has estado viendo en un principio que tu hermana iba a ir a marchar y era muy diferente, había una ruptura, por así decirlo, entre lo que veíamos en la tele y lo que veíamos en nuestras redes, porque no era que simplemente cualquier persona que no conocíamos iba a esa marcha, iban nuestros compañeros con los que habíamos estudiado, iban nuestros primos, iban nuestros hermanos. Ver sus videos de que estaban marchando pues con arengas, que estaban marchando, incluso mis compañeros del elenco de danzas peruanas han estado haciendo una marcha bailada, y que digan que ha sido una marcha violenta, que incluso en cierto canal, que tampoco le quiero
no
dar
hablemos de
publicidad
canal.
a ese canal porque no lo merece, diga que, o sea, saquen imágenes de Google diciendo de que eso era lo que tenían como armas los protestantes, nos llegó a indignar al punto que teníamos que hacer algo. Y sabemos de que en las redes sociales podíamos llegar a más gente, sobre todo de nuestra generación, que es la generación que va a impactar. Es la generación que, bueno, sea de paso decirlo, es el bicentenario el próximo año. Y es bueno saber de que en nuestra generación hay gente que quiere este buen cambio. como pone Piero, se metieron con la generación equivocada.
Y
Somos
eso
la generación que ha dado toda la información sin pelos en la lengua.
y todos en un solo equipo, porque eso es algo que creo que cabe resaltar, es importante resaltar, que ustedes estaban transmitiendo y tomaron el rol de comunicadores, no solamente bueno, los traductores y los intérpretes somos en cierta manera comunicadores, pero ustedes tomaron ese rol porque el rol que le tocaba a la prensa no existía, o sea, era, como tú dices, una completa ruptura entre lo que tú ves en la televisión, que solía ser el principal medio de comunicación, y lo que veías en redes sociales. Completamente distinto. Y entonces ahí entra ya a tallar un poco el sentido común, creo yo, y dices, bueno, a ver, vamos a ver qué está pasando acá. Son 2 o 3, 4 canales tal vez que están diciendo una cosa o que no te muestran nada, y son miles de personas que están posteando esto y todos son jóvenes. Y eso es algo que me llama mucho la atención. Salvador, ¿tú cómo lo ves esto? Porque esto es algo que les va a tocar a
Uy,
ustedes más adelante vivir como profesionales, como traductores y como intérpretes.
perdón, antes de que Salvador responda, por favor respira y cuéntanos tu tesis. Un
Salvador,
resumen
por
rápido.
favor.
Bueno, antes, como a pedido de Piero, mi tesis es un estudio que busca tratar de medir el estatus profesional de los traductores e intérpretes, su prestigio, por así decirlo. Y una manera que he visto reflejado en este proyecto llamado, bueno, no proyecto, no iniciativa, Peru Translated, es cómo nos sentimos nosotros como profesionales transmitiendo todo lo que está pasando, porque decimos, bueno, nuestra prensa no lo transmite. Vemos en la tele y no están transmitiendo lo que pasa. Somos el supuesto puente entre culturas. Es lo que siempre nos dicen desde la primera clase. Entonces hay que hacerlo, hay que comunicarlo a diferentes culturas. Hacer esto y llegar a tantas personas, cambiar el mundo de la traducción, como nos dijeron, la verdad es increíble y nos hace sentir a nosotros de verdad como unos buenos traductores, intérpretes, porque hemos hecho eso, hemos comunicado nuestra situación, nos hemos hecho ver y hemos hecho algo completamente nuevo, la verdad. Siento que acá todos nosotros, todos los que hemos participado del miembro de Perú Translated, se han de sentir demasiado orgullosos por este
¿Y
trabajo
saben por qué,
que han hecho
chicos?
por su
Porque
país.
mucha de las generaciones antiguas creen que el trabajo del traductor tenía que ser neutral, que no teníamos que tomar ninguna posición. Y claro, se entiende que tienes que ser súper transparente al momento de transmitir un mensaje, lo que está queriendo decir el que está hablando, el que está dando el discurso, pero eso no quiere decir que que te tengas que quedar de brazos cruzados sin decir absolutamente nada si es que estás viendo que está sucediendo una injusticia. Eso es algo que yo creo que ustedes como que han dado están empezando esto, están plantando una semilla que va a ser bien interesante ver en el futuro. Y tú no has hablado mucho, así que te voy a hacer la pregunta de qué perspectiva te da esto a futuro en nuestra profesión de traducción e interpretación.
Bueno, a futuro no sé exactamente qué pueda pasar, pero sí siento que por lo menos yo ya estoy graduada, ellos todavía no, y sé que se va a venir una muy buena generación de traductores e intérpretes con una ética única, porque no se van a quedar callados ante alguna injusticia, no se van a quedar de brazos cruzados, y eso es bueno, porque muchas veces el traductor, como por lo mismo que es invisible, que también siempre nos dicen, puede tender a decir, no, para mantener a tal cliente, mejor me quedo ahí, mantengo mi pensamiento solo ahí. Y no es tampoco la idea, es también ser muy apegado a tus valores, muy apegado a tus principios. Y veo grandes principios en los chicos. Desde el primer día les he estado repitiendo, chicos, estoy súper orgullosa de ustedes, chicos, por favor no se me vayan a dormir tarde. Por más que del sábado a domingo les repetí como 5 veces, chicos, a dormir. No me hicieron caso y seguíamos todos hasta que las 4 o 5 de la mañana. Entonces, sí, ante todo, yo creo que se va a venir una muy buena generación, una generación que no se va a quedar solo traduciendo o interpretando, sino que va a buscar este cambio y hacer más real el ser este puente entre culturas.
Vía, también quiero tener tu opinión sobre esto. Ahora tú estás estudiando todavía. ¿Tú qué crees que va a pasar? No quiero una predicción, pero ¿qué sientes que va a pasar?
Bueno, de todas maneras ha habido un cambio. Lo he notado. Nos hemos dado cuenta recién con estos últimos sucesos, lamentablemente, pero sí ha habido un cambio. Yo jamás pensé vivir una situación así. De hecho, que nos ha afectado y ha cambiado mi punto de vista. Antes a mí no me llamaba la atención mucho lo que es política. Ahora la verdad es que eso ha cambiado completamente. Yo leo, me informo, ¿no? De todas maneras, no quiero que mi país siga sufriendo. Y a mí lo que me ha emocionado bastante es que al esto ser compartido, otras personas de otros países se han interesado por la problemática del país. Ahora, no es una lucha solo de peruanos contra la injusticia peruana, sino es de todo el mundo contra la injusticia peruana. Y sí, me parece que ha habido un gran cambio.
Claro, y ahí es donde yo digo que va a haber el impacto, y por eso es que les pregunté a todos si es que estaban listos para este cambio, porque yo creo que cuando ustedes hacen este tipo de trabajo, ustedes tienen el poder de, manteniendo siempre los principios de todo traductor y de todo intérprete, que es transmitir el mensaje tal cual, fiel al mensaje original, tienen el poder de darle poder a su país, a su población. Y eso es importantísimo, chicos. Así que, de verdad, felicitaciones. Como peruana, les digo que estoy orgullosísima de que de que mi país, yo estoy en la Ricardo Palma por algún tiempo y luego, bueno, estudié en otra escuela que ya no funciona, pero me alegro muchísimo que mi país esté formando traductores e intérpretes tan comprometidos, tan reales. Me gusta mucho eso. Sigan así. Manténganse fieles a su ética, a sus principios, que es muy, muy importante. Y bueno, Ivy, como tú dijiste, claro, en algún momento se puede pensar, pucha, pero no quiero perder este cliente en realidad. Bueno, los mejores intérpretes tienen ciertos principios al momento de hacer su trabajo y van a encontrar que en el mundo de la interpretación y de la traducción hay de todo, como en todo el mundo. Así que la línea que ustedes tienen, creo que la deben de mantener. Y eso es este fuego que les da la juventud. No sé, no me sale la palabra para decirles, pero esta chispita que tiene la juventud es un poco difícil de mantenerla a medida que vas avanzando en años, pero sí les aconsejo y les aliento a que la mantengan encendida. Noelia, tú has sido la gestora de esta idea, así que de verdad, muchísimas gracias. Y aquí estoy pasando por acá abajo en esta banda las redes sociales en donde pueden contribuir, los pueden encontrar en Facebook, en Instagram, en Twitter, en LinkedIn, profesionales peruanas, peruanos de traducción. ¿Y alguna de ustedes quiere ser intérprete? Tú vas a ser intérprete, Vivi. Tú también, Piero, sí, es otro animal, como dicen.
Exactamente.
Sí, pero es lindo también. Chicos, no sé si es que quieren decir algo más. Sí, Ivy. Y Noelia.
Quiero agradecer a todo el grupo. Literalmente tengo la lista de cada grupo porque no me puedo quedar sin agradecerle a cada una. Son más de 200 personas. No te puedo decir el número exacto, pero agradecer al grupo de gestión de inglés, de chino, portugués, italiano, francés, alemán, quechua, japonés, holandés, al grupo de maquetación, al grupo de subtitulación, al grupo que se encargó de transcripción, al grupo que se encarga de redes. Agradecerles a cada uno de estos, como les digo, mis chiqui babies, por hacer este cambio.
Noelia.
Ya, yo también quería agradecer a todas las personas que han estado con nosotros desde el inicio, porque, bueno, la verdad, quería agradecer bastante a mis profesoras, porque, o sea, definitivamente nos ayudaron bastante. Es personalmente a Ivy, porque ella hizo que todo esto creciera tanto. Yo soy pésima para la gestión, la verdad. Siempre les digo a las personas que no me metan de gestora para nada, porque no me gusta. Puedo dar ideas, pero organizarlo es horrible. Entonces, o sea, realmente somos todos quienes ayudamos acá y no sé, la verdad me alegra que haya llegado tanto y me alegra que hayamos podido aportar de alguna manera. Voy a agradecer a mi grupo de CM, a mis chicas de Community Manager, porque bueno, son mis amigas y me han estado apoyando, especialmente los días que andaba súper bien ocupada, porque tenía que responderle a cada grupo y tenía que hablar al grupo de inglés, y tenía que responderles a la maquetación, y tenía que responderles al grupo de gestores, era horrible. Así que les voy a agradecer, gracias a Narit Obando, que también es parte de Community Manager, así una champita que ahorita está viéndolo, a Nasser Lamilla, que fue una de las chicas con las que empecé esto, a otras chicas que entraron recién, pero también gracias. Voy a buscar sus nombres.
Ok.
Que son nuevas.
Ustedes.
Son nuevas, pero igual nos han apoyado mucho.
Ustedes, chicos, Vía, Salvador, Piero, Ángel. Espérense un ratito. Ángel, ¿quieren que Nadia quiere que mande saludos?
Sí, bueno, saludos hasta, como dicen, es que me mudé hace poco a España temporalmente y por eso quieren que les salude.
Ok.
Es un poco tarde acá, creo que son
Sí, es
las
tarde.
medianoche.
Perdón, no sabía que estabas en España.
Tranquilo, está bien.
Salvador, Piero, ¿algo más que agregar?
Sí, agradecer a los profesores que nos motivaron a seguir y organizar todo, la verdad, porque sin la ayuda de ellos esto no hubiera pasado tanto. Nos brindaron todas sus herramientas, sus ganas de motivarnos a seguir y sus contactos. Ha sido algo completamente maravilloso. A pesar de la crisis, algo que rescatar.
Qué bien. Piero.
Bueno, sí, como dijo Andrés, muchas gracias especialmente a los profesores que nos apoyaron desde el primer momento, confiaron en nuestro trabajo y nos apoyaron en la organización de todos los diferentes idiomas. Y muchas gracias sobre todo a la gente que compartió, porque sin ellos tampoco esto no hubiese llegado a su objetivo final. Entonces, muchas gracias a los chicos que estuvieron pendientes a nuestra página y por favor sigan compartiendo.
Y Vía.
Sí, muchísimas gracias también a Stephanie Barreto, que es la persona con la que he estado compartiendo la gestión de francés, y a mi grupo de franceses que de verdad pusieron garra en todos estos días que hemos estado traduciendo, y a todas las personas que nos han ayudado a que la página crezca. De verdad estoy muy agradecida con todos.
Felicitaciones, chicos. Y todavía no ha parado porque siguen pasando cosas. Hoy, de hecho, hay una marcha convocada, así que al servicio de ustedes, de Linguists, como buena peruana que ama a su tierra y la extraña un montón. Por favor, lo que deseen compartir a través de nuestras redes de Instagram, lo voy a hacer. Y muchas gracias a todos por habernos visto el día de hoy. La próxima semana tenemos a Ana Arias, a Fernando Valdés y a Carmen Collazo, continuando con la serie sobre el español con Redacte, la red de Asociación de Correctores de Textos en Español. Así que no se lo pierdan, es el jueves 26 a las 2 p.m., hora central de los Estados Unidos. Chao, Linguis, muchísimas gracias por vernos. Nos vemos.